Hello, welcome to Draw Tip Tuesday. My name is Koosje Koenen and I believe that life is better when you draw it. I even wrote a book with that title. And on this channel I share stuff from my own creative journey to help you and guide you through your own. So let's draw together. After showing you my travel sketch kit, the full gear, I would like to address that you don't need a lot to fill a page or to fill your sketchbook. You don't need a lot of tools. And to show you, I will do a drawing today in the park close to my home. You could see it as a trip, as a mini adventure. And I would encourage you to do the same thing. Go on a mini adventure, bring a minimal kit and draw. Apart from my sketchbook, I'm bringing a pen with soluble ink in it, a water brush and a watercolor pencil. I'll also take a paper towel for wiping my brush. The watercolor pencil that I have is Caran d'Ache Super Color and it's black. The ink in this fountain pen is also black, but it's water soluble. The fountain pen is a Sailor Fude nib fountain pen and the nib is bent and it gives you a wonderful variety in line. And then I have my Pentel water brush pen to dilute the ink and the watercolor pencil. So I found this spot that is quiet and has a lot of texture, nature. And let's see what I can do with my minimal kit here. You don't need green to draw greens. And I'll start drawing these leaves here on the left side. And I'll work from left to right in my sketchbook, so that I don't smudge my ink. And you can see how I am using the fude nib. By changing the angle in which I hold the pen, I can create thicker and thinner lines. I'm looking at the water side now, and I'm not drawing all the trees very accurately and precise and detailed. I'm having fun mark making, indicating that there's a lot of trees and branches and grass in different angles and different heights. And I want to capture that water, which is almost like a mirror. So I'll get back to the surface of the water later. First, I want to fill the parts around it. Again, by mark making, really, indicating that there are trees and shrubbery and grass. And for the trees, I can really play with that wonderful variety in line. And if I tilt my pen a little bit more upwards, I can make thin lines for the grass. I think I have enough to get started with my water brush pen. And oh, there's a lady walking her dog and she's interested in what I'm doing. And as I was turning towards her, my phone fell and accidentally I filmed us, which I think is a really good shot, so I left it in. Anyway, I diluted the ink with my water brush, and while that's still wet, I can add a watercolor pencil, which is super yummy on top of a wet surface. And now I'm also adding a little bit of texture to the water, actually really looking at the reflections of the water. And with the color pencil, I can bring in some more darks and also new texture because it's really wonderful on the watercolor paper. And I'll just alternate with playing with that water brush, diluting the ink, adding more texture, really exploring. More mark making on top of the still wet diluted ink. And you can see that I'm turning my pencil so that I can create really nice organic lines for the branches of the trees. Adding more darker bits, more shading, more texture, more marks. And where I find the diluted ink too soft, I'm emphasizing on the line again. And there are buildings in the background, so I'm adding some marks for the windows. I'm looking for contrast, the grass in the foreground, but also how dark things are against whites and grays. And there's this tree right in front of me, so I am adding a little bit more texture and making it a little bit more grayish by adding water. And now that I've done that, I realize that I really need more in the background. So I'm adding more contrast, more dark, so that it becomes clear that this thing on the right is a trunk that is sort of blocking part of the view. And I can make use of that juicy ink indicating branches. There's not much leaves yet on the trees. I'm just scratching my way through the page. And you can't see this on the reference photo, but there's high grass, tall grass that I'm drawing. And I feel like I'm getting somewhere here. Just adding some more dark for contrast and some more marks to indicate the different kinds of leaves that there are and the different kinds of branches. I feel like by diluting this in the back, you can't really see that there's a tall tree, so I'm drawing on top. And now I want to emphasize a little bit more on the reflection. So I'm adding a few lines and scribbles to dilute. See if that works out. It might be a little too harsh and too big of a line, but I think I can get away with it if I dilute the ink enough. And I can also paint a little bit with my water brush pen using the ink that it picks up. Diluting the watercolor pencil as well, just a little bit here in the foreground. Then drawing with the ink on top of the still wet page, which is exciting because it gives all these different kinds of textures. Nature has so many textures. You just can keep making marks. And here's one last thing that I want to add. I am using my water brush pen to spatter a little bit of ink on top of the page, which gives it a little bit of extra texture still. And that is a 10-minute break to draw in my sketchbook with a very limited set of tools. I think it's quite exciting how much you can accomplish with a very minimal kit. It makes you more creative, and it also takes out the stress that you could get from a very full kit choosing what to use at that very moment. It's a misconception that you need a lot of tools to make art, to make anything, to fill your pages. I think that by minimizing your tools, you are maximizing your creativity. So your assignment for this week is to minimize your tools and do a drawing with that. I hope you have fun. I think you will. And of course, please subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on my weekly Draw Tip Tuesday videos. And if you want more, then please join me on Patreon. We have a wonderful community going on there, and I'm sharing lots and lots more tips, ideas, videos, and more. Plus, you will be supporting me to keep making these videos here on YouTube for free. I'll see you next week. Bye!